my San Diego Fringe face. Emil Muck 69. Emil Muck 69. Yeah, right. Tonight. Yeah, at 10:30 on the 16th, 10:30 tonight. I'm at the New Destiny Church in Lincoln Park. Yeah, the New Destiny Church in Lincoln Park. It's not a bad place. In fact, there's parking. That's one of the good things about the New Destiny Church. It's in Lincoln Park. It has parking 48 or 4931 Logan Avenue, Suite 102. It's a little church that is a bunch of churches in a complex, a cultural complex. It's a nice 60-seat theater, and I'm there tonight at 10:30. 10:30. 10:30 tonight. So please try to make it. 69 Emil Muck, Anchorman. The news made me do it. It's the story of my news. Oh, there I am. I'm still in America, and you should definitely try to see the show. So I had a show on the 14th. It was a great show, 6 o'clock. Saturday tonight, 10:30. Tomorrow at 7:30, and then Tuesday the 19th at 9. Thursday. Oh, you see me live in the picture, and then you see the AI image there. I noticed people really mature, and they say, well, no one's costing us jobs, and hell with AI, right? It's the billionaire's folly. But AI, actually, if you are, new to it, you say, hey, it's kind of cool. You have AI. Now we're back. Now we're back. Okay, so now the internet is back. Uh, and in the meantime, we're going to have a show, try to have a show today. And oh, there I am. There I am. Let's see. Let's see if they show Dan. And no, I can't. I can't. Oh, there he is. So Dan, I think we should give up on trying to connect. For
Just wrote you.
for some reason, we're not connecting, and it's probably best if we. What do you think? No, this is the first time we're stable. Oh no, we're not stable.
I was
There, we're
very.
stable. Oh,
even though you have a
You
really
were what
strong
now? Yeah.
yeah, even though you have a really strong signal, um, you break off. Like right now, you just broke off again. I'm on and I can see myself on air.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, Dan. We have
Yeah, it's not working.
uh, uh it's a tough connection. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, I'll catch you. I'll email you. We'll talk. I'll try to do
All right.
solo because it's less of a tech.
All right.
Me. All right, it's just me. Uh, but I'll tell you, in San Diego, I'm in San Diego, and it's a great town and great people, and a lot of Filipinos. A lot of the big Filipino community here. I'm in a part of San Diego, the theater on Lincoln Park, near National City, which is the Filipino place, right? National City, you got to take National City over Mira Mesa. Mira Mesa is too suburbanized. And then, Chula Vista is okay, but National City, that's the place. Anyway, so that's essentially where New Destiny Lincoln Park is on 49th and Logan Avenue, Suite 102. So check it out. Go to get your tickets at sdfringe.com. Inflation fighting prices. I think $13 a ticket. The food at a movie house is going to cost you $13. I hear you get a live show. You get a live person. 69. Yeah, we'll get into that. Emil Mock. Oh, and if tonight's show is on at 10:30, so it's going to be a 69 show at 10:30 at night on a Saturday night. All right. Well, this is cursed to have this kind of internet thing happening to me. But if you can see the QR code, you can go click on that QR code. Put your camera on there. Go to sdfringe.org, get your tickets. I'm here until the 23rd at 4 p.m. So it's a fun show. It's a fun. If you've seen the show, no, you haven't seen the show. It's slightly different. It's always different based on who's teching. What the scenario is, what the venue, who the people are there with me, and then how I'm feeling that night. I could feel really great. I can feel like today. Well, actually, this is a kind of resilience thing to have all the things break down on you, and you're resilient. You're still doing your show. So here we are in San Diego. I have to say, very hospitable people. I had I had people who wanted to host me, and they said, well, we don't have room, but we'll at least take you to dinner. And they cooked dinner they found out I was vegan, and they cooked dinner for me in their home. And it was a special vegan meal. It was grilled vegetables. It was Ethiopian inspired lentils with the teff, the Ethiopian bread. It was delicious. It was good company, good food. I talked to they're my friends now. Mary V. Solivan. And if you know the Filipino Solivans, well, Solivan is like Sullivan, but Filipino. So I guess a Filipino Irish. I don't know. But Solivan, she has a very famous uncle, Max Solivan, who is a journalist, and she's coming out with a book, Mary V is, on that's going to be released in October, which should be a lot of fun. It's called, I think it's about the whole 1920s. And so she came to my show on Thursday and enjoyed it. So Friday we had dinner with her husband, uh, Jody, aka John Blanco, and John is a professor at San Diego State, Comp Lit, Tagalog, English, Spanish, and we talked about some of our favorite writers, Bienvenido Santos. And he said, a Filipino American who I met, I'm privileged, to have met him in the 1980s, but a great conversation about Filipino novelists and comics and artists and just a fun time. Their friend Alicia was there, and they're so knowledgeable about the Filipino community nationwide and in San Diego, and a lot of the same problems about the Filipino community here in San Diego that exists elsewhere. So it's like, is San Diego far from Nirvana? And and here's the thing: San Diego has a Filipino mayor. But people say, Phil, don't get me started about him. So there's a kind of diversity here and there's a kind of power that the community has that is unlike other Filipino communities in the nation. The thing about San Diego is that it has the Navy, and the Navy loaded with Filipinos, most of them enlisted men. So they have a ceiling, chief, ensign, right? Master Chief, because that's where the enlisted men go, and then they're the officers. And it's a funny system, but that's how Filipinos came. Some of them came to America by joining the Navy in Cavite in the Philippines, and some joined here. But it's a funny little two-tiered system that has been perpetuated, and I don't know. I've come in and out of San Diego over the years. Knew it a little better around 2000. That's like 26 years ago. And now I find that it's kind of inched along, progressed. There's a new generation, but I hope they all come to see my show tonight. Emil Amok 69. And there you have it. There's the poster tonight at 10:30 p.m. Sunday, the 17th at 7:30 p.m. That'll be a good show. Some people say, "Oh, we're going to make it on Sunday." The 19th, Tuesday at 9, Thursday, the 21st. That Thursday show at 9 o'clock. That's going to be a good show. And then Saturday, the 23rd at 4. So anyway, hope you can make it. Emil Amok 69. The new Anchorman, the news made me do it. And, I call it Anchorman because here we are in San Diego, the home of Ron Burgundy. Ron Burgundy. Ron Burke. Keep it classy, San Diego, of course. And there's the AI image to prove how I'm trying to keep it classy. Now, see about Dan isn't around. I was going to ask him about. There was a study about grade inflation. It's so that now students are getting better because they use AI, and they're actually graduating in not in English or in social studies or anything like that. They're graduating in the use of AI because the C students in English and history and all that and the humanities are putting their papers through AI and they're getting A's. That's the grade inflation. And then it's balanced out by the fact that if you're taking labs or in sciences and you got to keep up and you can't do AI and do all your courses in 2 days, those kids, the C students remain C students. So there's a kind of balance. This is a recent study that was reported by Axios. So I was going to ask Dan what he thought about grade inflation in AI because he's had to deal with it. I know that right now they're saying, well, maybe the way you can beat it is forget the typewriter, forget the computer where you can cut and paste. You got to handwrite. Got to handwrite your paper. Oh, I forgot how to do cursive. Or you got to talk it out. You got to do an oral exam. I mean, that used to be the standard in graduate school. Your orals. Anyway, the big news this week, I talk about it in my show a little bit. Trump in China. I mean, it was not nearly as grandiose as we thought. In fact, I think it had all the pomp and the circumstance, but it had the same kind of nutritional value as going to Panda Express. Like 2 days. That's all you got, 2 days. And who had the upper hand? And I think definitely President Xi kind of ran rings around President Trump. Who looked more presidential? Who looked more powerful? I mean, when you look at them, sitting next to each other or standing next to each other, I mean, President Xi is not some short Asian man. I mean, even if he wasn't short, I mean, if he was short, he'd have a sense of stature. But the thing about Xi is he's a big guy. He's a big Chinese guy. And next to Trump looked like a guy with no posture, bad guy with bad posture, the guy who ate too much that sad American diet. And, she kind of gave it to him. She was resolute, said, hey, look, let's not mess this up. Taiwan, we could be partners on this. But remember, Taiwan, it's part of China. And Trump, instead of being resolute about standing up for Taiwan, Trump was kind of chumpy. Oh, you're a great president. You're a great. Oh, he was flattering. Usually, people come flatter Trump. Trump was flattering Xi, like, "Oh, you're the greatest. You're the greatest. Oh, you're big for a Chinaman. You're big. You're big, big, big for a Chinaman. We know that. People aren't going to like what I say. Oh, you're the greatest. I want to be like you. And the fact is, Trump wants to be like Xi. So I think she had the upper hand, which doesn't really bode well for Trump. Trump was trying to figure out how do I get you to help me with this Iran thing because we are stuck. We are stuck in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump is still the Strait of Hormuz, which is unfortunate because I think he'd rather be. I think he'd rather be home in Mar-a-Lago. That's home. So much for Trump. The thing that got me. Here's a report. You may not have seen this. Trump called the New York Times reporter fake guy. It's sort of treasonous what you write. This is reported in The Hill, and has been reported throughout. Trump described the media coverage of the Times, especially when it comes to the U.S. conflict with Iran, aka the war, called it treasonous, and said, I had a total military victory, but the fake news, guys like you, write incorrectly. That's what he told David Sanger. Called him a fake guy. He says, I actually think it's sort of treasonous what you write, the worst. And so this I think you got to worry about because this is part of Trump's propaganda, right? He didn't get what he wanted out of Xi. And the Times was asking correctly about, well, what about the war? Where are we with the war? And we are nowhere in the war. And I think reasonable people have to say, yeah, Trump is really eating it because at the same time as the war and the summit, the so-called summit, the Panda Express, let's just call it the Panda Express, Donald Trump got nothing. He got nothing out of this. And then the news is bad. Inflation is up 3.8%. People are feeling the affordability crisis. People are feeling the pinch. Everything's going down, especially the numbers of the Trump presidency. And this is how Trump lashes back. Sad. And all in the heels also of a proposed $1.7 billion slush fund that Trump wants to establish for people who might break the law, but are doing things for his benefit. And it can also not just include people who break the law, but companies that deal and associate with the Trump family and Trump businesses. That is called some grade A corruption, the likes of which we haven't seen ever, the likes of which the world has never seen. That kind of corruption. Oh my God. That's where America's going. I mean, the standing of Trump and Xi, the standing of everything of Trump's presidency after this past week, going further, and how do you recover, except in some kind of autocratic way, by proclaiming that the people telling the truth are liars, that the people who are good guys are bad, that you are the autocrat, you are the leader not of the free world, but of the autocratic world, and you're going to be the big bully. That's sort of how I see where we're heading, unless people start speaking out, people start saying the truth, and people become even more resolved to vote this year during the midterms. I mean, California has an election coming up, and then the big midterm vote, um, later in November, because this is the kind of the primary in California, and then they have the runoff for the top two later in November. This is a big year. Resolve that you will vote. That yes, no matter what, because that's the power. That's the power you have. That's the revolution. The revolution is the vote. I mean, you could talk about all forms of revolution, but the revolution in a democracy is the ballot at the ballot box. And it's to vote and count the votes, not to claim it's all rigged, claim it's fake, seize the ballots, and then try to make it rigged later. That's a Trumpian thing, right? I mean, the attack on the Voting Rights Act is kind of like a threat on that. And Chad Bianco, who's running, the Riverside County Sheriff, who's running for governor of California, why do you seize 500,000 ballots? Because he can, but not that he can do anything with them, but he's trying to. Maybe he's practicing for the midterms. I don't know. But he is a soldier. He's a former oath keeper, he's soldier for MAGA, and proud of it. I'd worry. I'd worry about if you're a I've already seen Chad Bianco signs go up in my neighborhood. Not good. All right, what else are we talking about? I talked about the Arcadia mayor the other day. The Arcadia mayor, the Chinese woman who was being used by the Chinese Communist Party. Problems. Apologize for that. But when you travel, this is what happens. Go on the road with your gear, and you don't have all the gear right. But my gear is all right. It's just like, the situation, internet speed, and all that. But yeah, I'm not sure what the ultimate. She was supposed to plea bargain. She might get up to 4 years. A counterpart, her boy, I think she had a relationship with this Chinese guy who set her up to post information on China, which was propaganda. This is the problem. She was posing as a news person. That was fake news. That is fake news, courtesy of the Chinese government. And she was mayor of Arcadia. What was she thinking? Anyway, that broke earlier this week. Don't know what the disposition is of late, but we could see some fallout to the Asian American community. That would be bad. Because now you don't have to be a spy. You can claim you're a journalist and putting out news that is provided by and fostered and manicured by the Chinese Communist Party. And that's a danger, because now suddenly people don't have to search far for an excuse to say, oh, that guy's a foreigner. That guy's foreign. That guy can't be trusted. Anyway, let's hope it doesn't degenerate into that. But worse things have happened. All right, one last thing about Lyle Prijoles. We talked about him last week. The update is they're still trying to find his body, still trying to figure out what happened to the 19 at Toboso in Negros in the Philippines. Lyle Prijoles was an American-born Filipino. He's from around here in San Diego. He's from Mira Mesa. Went to San Francisco State, got turned on about his roots, and wondered why Filipinos came to America and why, after people power, Corey Aquino, and post Marcos, why hadn't things improved for the workers, the farmers, the fishers, all the common people. Why didn't they get the benefits that the Marcoses and the Lopezes and the Duterte, all the other rich? Well, that's the thing. It's a class thing. So Lyle went back to help and was caught in the crossfire when the Philippine government got in a skirmish with the NPA. 19 people were dead. 10 of the 19 were believed to be NPA, but the other 9 activists from America, at least 2, like Lyle. And why were they there, and why were they confused for being NPA? I asked this question last week. Who's speaking out for Lyle? There was a story this week updating, the family's still looking for his body, or trying to retrieve his body, trying to get answers. But at some point, someone from the United States should be speaking out on behalf of an American who was killed by the Philippine government. I'll probably write about that in my column this week. But I think something to think about. So many Filipinos here. And to my surprise, Lyle Prijoles is from Mira Mesa and down here. And the link and the connection between San Diego and the San Francisco community, always strong. San Francisco and the LA community, well, it's strong to a point, but LA's its own thing sometimes, And they like the Dodgers there. I mean, that always has been a thing with me, being a San Franciscan. They like the Dodgers. Okay, good thing the Giants won some games against the Dodgers this past week. All right, one thing else I wanted to, I just can't say enough about the hospitality I felt here in San Diego. People have been very nice to offer up, places to stay, and people who said, we're Filipinos, we'd love them, love for them to stay here, but we can't because, we have family who came back in, and so they Jody and Mary V hosted me at their house for dinner just to show their just appreciation that I was part of the Fringe Festival, that I was bringing a Filipino story here to the Fringe. I'm going to talk to some kids today at 2:00 over in a part of Lincoln Park, like on Market Street at the library there, telling them about how they should keep pursuing the arts, keep pursuing the expressiveness of the arts as part of their lives, as they go on in school and they do the sciences, or they want to become doctors or lawyers. Just don't forget the arts. The arts is so important. I'm going to do that kind of message, because if I did my show 69 Emil Amok for kids, I don't know how much of a kid I could tell. I'll do. This is my promise. I'll talk about my show, my kid-worthy parts of the show, as much as I can. But honestly, it's probably about a minute. No, there's more. There's some history there. I have to take out some. I don't really say bad words in my show. It's clean. Yeah, of course it's clean. History, it's history. Anyway, so I think that's it. We're going to wrap it up. We sorry we had so many issues, with the tech. Dan was supposed to be here, and we couldn't get him on. No, it wasn't because we couldn't fit him in. The little box here. It's just it was his internet or my internet. Anyway, we'll fix it up, and we'll talk about stuff coming up. We'll talk about stuff next week. Next week's been a good week, but don't forget, hey, if you don't know the details, here are the deets. 69 Emil Muck, Anchorman of the News Made Me Do It. There's the QR code. Just take a picture of the QR, or not take a picture, but point your camera at it, and then click on the link that you see on your screen, and that'll take you to tickets. You can also go to sdfringe.org and look for 69 Emil Amok. Tickets are an inflation fighting $13. And tonight at 10:30. If you're there tonight at 10:30, I would appreciate it. I would appreciate if you can make it at 10:30. It will be a 69 show. Yeah. Sunday, 7:30. Tuesday, the 19th at 9. Thursday, the 21st at 9. Saturday, the 23rd at 4. People ask me, why so many weird times, Emil? Why, what? Well, that's how they do it at a Fringe festival. They accommodate different tastes, different times. The real 69ers, they wanted a midnight show. Well, a midnight show, you can come dressed up or something? No. I don't know. It's just 10:30. 10:30 tonight. That's the best we could do. Anyway, so come to tonight's show. Come to the show. It's an hour. It's fun. It's me. It's live. Live. You want to see me live? Talk with my hands? I'm talking with my hands. No, it's a fun show. All right, we're going to end this. See you tonight if you're there. Hey, the QR code. Yeah, I can't say I had a great meal last night. I mean, they cooked essentially Ethiopian food. If you've ever been to an Ethiopian restaurant, you eat with your hands. They got the teff bread, then you take it. It's like real spongy, and you grab some vegetables and you eat it. Oh man, it's great. I mean, in that sense, the Filipinos and the Ethiopians have something in common. We both eat with our hands. The Filipino Ethiopians, yeah. So I'm going to end with a little loving kindness meditation. And so, as I wish for me, I wish for you. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. Emil Guillermo here. Hey, forgive the technical glitches today. Until next time, Mahal Kita.